So this past week we read the book of Chronicles, Second Chronicles, and some chapters there. And for the most part, we read the book of Chronicles. And what that part we read was just talking about the kings of Israel. And it's a recap of the kings of Israel and what they did and what they did not do. And we also read about David wanting to build for God, and God told him he had too much blood in his hands and he wasn't going to build for him, and that his child Solomon would build for him instead. And Solomon did build for God. But one thing that struck me was that when Solomon finished building, he did this massive sacrifice. And that when he finished, God was so impressed, God gave him a blank check. And the blank check, I mean, is that God asked him to ask for anything. And he asked for wisdom. And God said because he did not ask for riches and all that, God gave him wisdom and also gave him riches, gave him wealth abundantly. And he says that in the Bible, it says that there was none that had as much wisdom as Solomon. There was none that had as much riches as Solomon. But one thing that happened to Solomon was that he started having many wives and concubines, and they started serving idols, and they turned his heart away from God. In fact, the Bible says that the many wives and concubines he had turned his heart away from God. And that was what happened to Solomon. And that just reiterates the importance of relationships, association. They make a whole lot of difference in our progress in our lives. So we should be very careful about the association we make, about the progresses we make. And so we also read the book of Obadiah. Obadiah is just one chapter, and in verse 17, he says, the house of Jacob shall possess their possession. And it says, upon this mountain there shall be deliverance and holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possession. The Bible says that wherever the soles of our feet shall tread upon, that it will give us for a possession. So I want to encourage you wherever you are, whichever continent, whichever country, whichever city, whichever town, you have it for a possession. So make this your prayer and pray it, that wherever you are, put your name where it says Jacob. I will put my name, Olatanwa, that I have that place for a possession. I will pray that prayer as well. And I know that the Lord will meet us all at the very point of our needs. Have a blessed week.